Alright. I think I'm live. Cool, cool. Hello, hello. Martin, Greg, how we doing, fellas? How's the audio, the stream, music, all these things? Let me know. Marwin, Dixon, good to see you guys here. What's up? What's up? Guys, holy fuck, Bitcoin has been fucking beautiful lately, huh? Gorgeous. So nice. I'm a little low. Okay. All right. How about now? Is that better? Hey Brian, welcome back. Oh, is the music too loud, Greg? Hey, Johannes. Hey man, how you doing? Alright, guys. We'll do more of like a Q&A style thing this time, I think, because Asger's obviously not joining me. So Asger's not joining tonight. So we'll do more like of a Q&A style thing, ask some questions, and yeah, we'll go from there. So if anyone has any questions, just chuck them straight in the chat. I'll answer them, and we'll just wait until my Bitcoin trade takes my last TPs, huh? I mean, once we've broken through this structure here, so that's pretty much like, I hope it's a done deal, to be honest. I hope it's a done deal. So yeah, it's been oh, AUD CAD. Oh yeah, cool. We'll see how that plays out as well. Okay. So how's everyone going? How's everyone's trades been this week? Hey, Benfield Lager, Matthews, Sophie. Chubba the Bubba, how you doing? How do you confirm lower time frame to higher time frame, please, Hassan? Yeah, sure. So let's actually, good opportunity to go through this trade on Bitcoin that I took just before. Good opportunity to go through this trade on Bitcoin. It's about to take the final TP here, so that'll be really nice. I think Dixon, Dr. IQ were all in on this trade as well, but basically got in it originally down here, okay? Set my orders something like this, had one like this, and then I had a runner. So I set 3 orders and I put a runner all the way up to there and set my stop loss to here. So it was like a 3.5 to 1 risk to reward ratio. So this is that final position was 3.5 risk to reward. Now, you can see here my confirmation of this level is these wicks off the level here. Okay, first of all, I saw basically this trade just absolutely fall out of the sky here. Okay, and this type of deviation from the mean is exactly what we're looking for in this type of trade, okay? Now, what happened was I thought that it was just going to pump straight back up and wasn't going to catch my entries here, but it ended up coming back down, wicking off that entry level there, incredibly precise to this X mode level, and then just continuing on from there, basically, okay? Now, what we'd be able to see is if we went back on the lower time frame, so this is 15 minute, if we went to the lower time frame, we'd be looking for like a bullish engulfing candle or something like this around that level. Okay, so we're looking for some sort of bullish engulfing, wicks off like this, kind of like a pin bar or something like that. Bullish looking price action around the level. I'm just going to close this trade now. It's right there, so. Nice. There we go. So yeah, that's what you're looking for in terms of lower time frame confirmations. Do you take a trade being in a weak trend, Tom? I mean, ideally, I want a strong trend, Marwin. So, I mean, if the structure is nice, then maybe. But overall, I'm just looking for strong trending markets just like this. You can see this trade here on Bitcoin, exactly what I mean. Strong local, average global. Overall, it's a strong uptrend. And then I took another trade. So I scaled into this trade as well. So I took this first trade here with the 3 positions, like I just explained. And then like a few hours ago, I noticed this here. So this kind of like price action forming here. So it's kind of like a flag basically into our 100% alignment neutral level. Okay. I saw this wick off here, then saw another wick off there and another wick off there. And then I was in that trade. And then it just continued on. Basically a continuation trade there of this overall trend. So, this was a great trade for me as well. So basically that was my second trade and I still had that third runner. So that was those two positions you just saw me close right up here. So yeah, really nice trade. Really nice trade. Anyone else catch this? I know Dixon, you probably did. Oh yeah, Damien, X mode. We'll go through X mode. So, let me just see if there's any other questions. AUD NZD trade 1 day. Nice, guys. Nice. Good trade. It was nice. Real nice. I mean, bit choppy. I'm probably not taking this. I'm sure I can find better place to allocate my capital personally. Might work though. Overall, I'm just not convinced about this here. See all these wicks? Don't like that. Don't like that at all. So, yeah, and it's a weak uptrend. There's so many trades here that I know I can find a strong uptrend, like the Bitcoin trade. That Bitcoin trade I just went through. Strong uptrend. I know I can find something better than that. So, for me, I'm just going to allocate my capital somewhere else. Lost 6 trades last week. Yeah, that happens. You're probably overexposed to correlated pairs as well. So go back, review those trades and have a look at the correlations between what you took. Number 1, look at like currencies. And number 2 is just look at the way that those pairs move relative to each other as well. Okay? So Ouyong, just go back and review that and see if you can learn from that mistake, okay? CAD JPY, long BRC, prices consolidated below entry. Hey Sanya, how you doing? Prices consolidated below entry on the neutral resistance. Is this a possibility of continuation to the downside? CAD JPY. What time frame? Give me the time frame if you want me to have a look at it. All right, so someone wanted me to talk about... Oh, it was a 1 hour trade? Thanks, Johannes. In 1 hour. Cool. Are you saying this here? This consolidation? I wouldn't be shorting the market. I'm not shorting this. It's a strong uptrend. Definitely not shorting this. For me right now, if I'm not in this trade, I'm not really doing anything at the moment. If I see price push up above this level, then I'll look maybe for a trade from here up. But, you know, I'm not looking for anything right now in this market. And I mean, like, you know, when we're trading with a specific technical strategy, we're not trying to predict what the market's going to do next. You know, what I'm doing here is not a prediction as what the market's going to do. All I'm doing is I'm seeing a set of criteria that I know plays out in a certain, you know, I have a certain winning percentage on, right? So I'm just repeating that process over and over again. It's not about prediction as to whether there's going to be more downside or more upside from a certain level. Okay, that's kind of what a lot of people don't really understand about trading, is that we're not predicting where the market's going to go. All we're doing is having a certain set of criteria and basically identification of patterns that lead to a certain percentage win rate over a large set of trades. So I've taken Euro AUD 15-minute last week. I got into my entry, fall short of my TP and go straight to my stop loss, just touching it, and got back to my TP1 and TP2. But I was already out of the trade. Yeah, this happens as well. These things happen as well. So, you know, like I said in the training videos, on the low time frames, like 15-minute time frames, if you have a stop out, then the next trade is most likely going to be better than what that previous one was. Okay? Because you've got a further deviation from the overall mean that we're trading back towards. Like, a really good example of like a mean reversion trade is we just saw a trade on USD JPY play out in like 30 seconds. USD JPY. Exactly. Yeah, exactly, Marlon. That's right. You don't need to know where the market's going to go in order to make money trading. You can make money from entirely random outcomes. All right, so this is an extension trade, okay? So look here, there was this massive push to the downside, right, for USD JPY here. Basically, you know, what was this? 15 minutes ago or something like that? And then this trade took the first two entries. So this is something like the trade. Took the first two entries and then like immediately went back up and took TP1 and 2 within like 30 seconds, okay? Now this is exactly what we're looking for if we're looking at an extension trade, because we've got this like really abnormal deviation from what's going on in this market, you know, this uptrend. And then we've got this deviation, we're trading it back to the mean now, okay? This is exactly the type of thing we want to look for. All right, so someone wanted me to go through X mode. So basically, when we're looking at X mode, we've got resistance, neutral, and support levels. S being support, R being resistance, N being neutral. And then we've got alignment of these as well. So we've got 100% alignment and then 75% alignment sometimes also. But I see N. Yeah, N is neutral. So we've got 100% alignment and 75% alignment here. Basically, what we're looking for is we're looking for a trend. So we're using the RTD to look for a trend. And then we're trading off these high confluence levels. Okay? So the way we read X mode is from left to right. So this first column here is like the most important levels to this market. So these are the levels that have been around for the longest at this time frame. So we've got the hard R the hard neutral, and the hard support. And then beyond the resistance and the support levels, we've got extensions. Okay, now extensions are like when the market is completely overextended on any given time frame. Then as we move to the right, these levels become less and less important, but we still use the same letters, the R, the N, and the S. We just don't have the extensions anymore as we move to the right. So you'll usually see that as you move to the right, these levels, they become kind of more compressed because they're basically looking at lower time frames on that same time frame. It's like lower periods of time that those levels have been respected, basically, okay? So that's how we're reading these. And what we're trying to do is we're trading off the 100% or the 75% alignment levels usually, okay? So we're looking at the market structure, we're looking at the overall trend, and we're looking at these levels in order to identify trade opportunities. Just like I was talking about before on that BTC USDT trade. So we'll talk about the X mode levels at this particular trade here. So we've got 100% alignment neutral level here. So you call it 100% alignment neutral level because we've got this hard N here, the circle N. Then the diamonds next to it are all S's. So that means that this neutral level is beginning to change into support because it's a dynamic level as well, okay? So as the market moves around above this level, this is going to get more and more support into it, okay? Which means that the buyers are more willing to step in at this level, most likely, if the market moves back to there. And then you'll see as this kind of eventuates, this eventually turns into a 100% alignment support level at some point here. Because you can see these levels shifting up. So the S shifts up. This S will shift up soon. And then it turns into a 75% alignment support. And we've got the hard S here with the extensions below it. Now the next trade here, we've got a... Why do some levels have 3 diamonds but not say 75% alignment? Yeah, so usually you'll see that on like a 3 diamond neutral level because it's not really... There's only usually 2 75% alignment levels in the X mode structure here. Okay, so if you've already got like a 75% alignment support and a 75% alignment resistance, and then you've got 3 N diamonds, that wouldn't be considered a 75% alignment level. Usually you'll see like an S move into that N level. So it'll be NNS, and then it'll become like 75% alignment. So yeah, like I was saying before, you know, when you're planning out this type of trade, right, we've got a breakthrough of this 100% alignment neutral level now. And then you can see here in the past where the market has respected that level. So back here, the market's been respecting that level before, so we know it's an important level to the market. Price breaks through. Now we're looking for that retest and continuation. So this is basically a BRC trade. I just don't think it showed up on the sonar, but, you know, because I can see what's happening here in X mode, I'm able to kind of front run the sonar and take this trade before it shows up in sonar. And that would be the trade there. So your stop would be just under SSS and TP under your RR, taking the trade on NNN. It just depends on how it looks, to be honest with you. Like, basically, so let's use this one as an example, okay? So the 100% alignment neutral level is where my entry is. What I'm looking to do is basically trade it up to the hard resistance here, okay? I'm not trying to take it beyond the hard resistance. I'm just looking to take it up to that here because I can see here that this isn't really a well-established resistance level, so it's probably going to break if we've got enough buying pressure at that point. So I'm taking it up to here for my TP2, and then I'm kind of protected here by a little bit of support if the market does come down to here. Okay, that's how I'm kind of setting up my TPs and my stop loss in this particular case. Now, if I go back to this trade back here, You know, it's kind of similar, but off this trade, like when I look at where my hard resistance is here, that would only be a runner for me. I'm not trying to take this trade like this. This would be far too bold. That would be far too bold for me. Like, some people might do it because you might look at the higher time frame and then take your TPs from the higher time frame. But for me and how I usually trade, I'm trying to take it basically up 2 levels here to the next most important level. Okay? So I'm taking it to there. And then I just had a little runner because I thought, you know, Bitcoin's super bullish. So what if it does get all the way up there? So I took this one here just to give me a nice risk to reward of like 3.4, 3.5 rather than the normal kind of 1.7. Right? Caught the entries. Up she went. TP1 there. TP2 there. Had that break. And then, yeah, that's how that trade played out. Marwin, hey Tom, if for example you go to BTC 1-day time frame, there is a strong support level. Would you place your TP in extension if you would take a trade at that level on BTC on the 1-day? I'm not sure where the level is, Marwin. You mean down here? You mean down here, Marwin? I don't know. But, yeah, there's no trade right now on this. There's no trade here yet because we're pushing into the extension. You know, even though we are on a really strong uptrend, we could still get rejected down to here before continuing up, or we could get rejected even harder down to somewhere like here. But right now, there's nothing going on here that makes me want to take a trade. Yeah. Understood, Tom. Understood, Tom. However, why is Sonar not giving you this trade if it seems perfect, just out of curiosity? There could just be some little thing that meant Sonar didn't present me with the trade. You know, some little detail that, you know, isn't part of the mathematical calculation of the algorithm that just meant it wasn't ideal for the Sonar. This level, Marwin, I mean, maybe I'll buy that level, but on a lower time frame, probably not on the 1-day time frame. I might buy that level on like the 15-minute time frame. I think that's what I just did before, to be honest. Probably bought that level before on a lower time frame. You know, these different time frames kind of tell a little bit of a different story, but it's important to kind of check what's going on the higher time frame to make sure you're still not buying into resistance on the time frame 1 higher. Yeah, sure. If this were to turn into a 100% neutral level, then maybe like something like this would be the trade, perhaps. If that were to turn into a neutral level, but it all depend on what the market showed me at the time as well, though. Yeah. For that to turn into a 100% alignment neutral level, the market's going to have to consolidate up here for quite some time, or it's going to have to breach extension 2. You can still buy on 1 hour RRR as long as there is a break and retest. I wouldn't buy it if there's still a resistance in the level, because that's still acting as a resistance. So if it's RRR, I'm probably not going to be buying that. I'm probably waiting for more neutral to come into the level than resistance, okay? Must have missed this entry from spread or something. Oh no, that's a TP. Sorry. Not an entry, not an entry. All right. Anyone seeing anything that's interesting? Hello, Eddie. How you doing? Does each time frame just move to circle S to circle R? Not sure what you mean. Gold. Gold rock, hey? Yeah, look, I mean, gold is still in a global downtrend. Local is starting to push up, but it's still a downtrend overall. You know, like on the higher time frame, it's still a downtrend, definitely. So, you know, at this rate here, maybe there's a trade from this level on the 1 day time frame. But we'll have to see how this acts. BTC at TP. Yeah, nice, Dixon. AUD JPY 4-hour X mode trade setup. Could you take a look at that one and give some comments? AUD JPY. Something like this, you're saying? And then end from there? It might work. I mean, it's a nice rejection off here. You know, we've got this kind of respect around the level there. I think it's nice. I think it looks pretty good. I mean, for me, I'm probably... You know, if that fails, though, then this is kind of the next trade. So, you know, just being prepared to put on that one as well. But I think it looks good, Raul. Sure. Tighter stop. Like a 3-1 or something. Cool. Cool. Well, looks like you're about to take TP1 anyway, so looks good. Looks good, man. Yeah, like Raul said, you know, whoever asked about does it move from circle to circle? There is kind of this idea that, you know, there's the circle to circle theory. So basically, if you're above the neutral, the hard neutral circle, then, you know, price will most likely head towards the hard resistance level. But, you know, that's kind of just with the trend, basically, though, as well. Hey, Mark. How you doing? All the Forex trades just disappeared. Yeah, cool. I took the first couple of TPs and then got out of this one pretty quick. I don't like when it has this kind of reaction to the downside, pops back up, takes your TPs, but then just keeps smacking into these levels. I don't really like that when that happens. So I got out pretty quickly once I took TP 1 and 2. AUD USD 1 hour BRC, hey? Where are we at? Oh yeah, here? Oh, that's 15 minutes, alright. Are you saying from there? I mean, a bit choppy around that level. That level's a bit unmatured. I mean, the structure's nice. I mean, it's almost like, you know, this kind of... Yeah, maybe. Might work. I just don't trade around those levels. I'm struggling with SLs, as in, would you stick with SL under strong S, or would you push it all the way to extension 1? But I know that would make no sense due to the risk-reward ratio. Would you then suggest SL under strong support if it throws us out? Just re-enter. Well, I'm not just re-entering, I'm just finding the next level to enter at if we're still in you know, like an uptrend, okay? So, I mean, I can't really imagine a scenario where my stop loss would be under the strong support level. I think you really just need to go through and have a look at X mode in replay function and see kind of like how you would place these trades. Yeah. That's probably the best bet for you, to be honest with you. Because I don't see a way that a setup where I have my stop loss below a strong support. Mm-hmm. The local's crossing over here on this trade, so I'm probably getting out of this, to be honest. Yeah, sure. Sure, Jake. So Jake said, could you go over flags or pennants at levels again? Okay, cool. So let's try to find an example.
Pound AUD. We'll have a look at that one next, Johannes. No, that's choppy as hell. See if we've got anything on the 1 day time frame. So yeah, these flags and pennants can either be traps or they can be genuine continuation signs. Usually they're a trap if they're forming kind of like on the wrong side of a support or resistance level. Okay. So in this type of market here, so we're in Euro USD, what I'd like to see is if we see some sort of flag form like this to push into that level, then it'd be nice to see that get rejected off there from some sort of like bear flag, okay? So in this case, where we've got a downtrending market and we've got a consolidation or what you would call kind of a flag forming below the level, and then we see a rejection off it, that's a good sign. Okay, that's a good flag to form. Something like that. Or like in that BTC trade from before, where the flag was forming above the support level, that's a good flag to see. When you're seeing a flag forming like a bull flag forming below a resistance level, then that's when you're kind of thinking, all right, is this a fake? Is this a fake out? Okay? Is this just there to fake out the buyers, to punch it into support and then send it to the downside? So you can see here in this kind of uptrend, we had, you know, like a flag here forming just above this support level. This 75% alignment neutral level, which was 100% alignment neutral level. In the past, you know, we would have had something like this here. Flag above the level. Not directly on the level. But this is the type of scenario where it might be just a trap to catch some buyers, punch it back down into support, and then continue on like that. Something like this. We've got this type of thing here. You know, it's not a super clean, but really what I'm looking at is I'm just kind of like eyeballing like points of consolidation that are above support and points of consolidation that are below resistance, and then I'm trading them with trend, basically. Okay? So it's like once you get this punch through, then there's a consolidation above the support, which you could kind of call a flag, or it's just a consolidation into the level to continue on. Okay? And then the fake flags are the ones that kind of form below the resistance. So if we kind of had this move up and then maybe consolidate here, it's probably a fake flat continuation to then get punched back down into support and then continue up like that. Or like this one here, like I just showed you, where it kind of wasn't around a level. So then the price moved back down to find some liquidity at the level and then continue up. Make sense? Let's look at that extension trade for you, Johannes. Pound AUD. Yeah, nice. I kind of like sometimes taking X mode extension trades, something like this. This seems to be really nice when that type of this type of setup seems to work quite often. You can see it worked here just before. So like 2 candles ago. Bang, right there. And then we're also protected by extension 2 there. So this is how I used to trade extension trades before the sonar started showing extension setups for us. So I used to trade extension trades just like this. Hey Nuno, how you doing? Is that how you trade them, Johannes, or you trade them like the Sonar setups? Who saw my weekly market review with this falling wedge trade? This looks so similar to that Euro Swiss franc trade from a while ago. It's eerily similar. Eerily similar. And now look at this here. It's exactly the same thing. Just been consolidating off this level. Whoever's been trading Euro Yen for the past like few days has been having an absolute beauty of a time. I actually saw someone mention it in Inner Circle or something like that. Honestly, look at this. This is nuts. Crazy. Everyone buy the dip on Bitcoin? Martin. Would you say the consolidation on pound NZD 4 hour is also a case of a bull trap? Will it go lower before it goes all the way up? Pound NZD. I'm guessing you're saying something like this here. Look, I could see this one break to the downside, catch this, and then go up like that. I mean, for me, that's probably the trade there, to be honest. That's the trade. I don't think there's really any other trade on this at the moment. And, you know, it's nice because it's kind of at this structure here as well. So I think that looks like a good setup there. Something like that is what I would be doing. And I could probably see, yeah, this consolidating here, faking it out, punching it down, and then continue up like that. Yeah. Yeah, what I think is that it'll keep building this. I mean, what I think. Why am I saying what I think? But yeah, what could happen here is it keeps building this flag, then it just like fakes out the all the buyers here that buy into this resistance, punches it back into the support. They'll place all their stops like here somewhere, so take all their stops out and then continue on up. Aussie dollar CAD 4 hour looks like a BRC trade to the downside. Aussie dollar's been strong, man. Where are we at? This mic is great. Like, I love this mic, but it's like right over my keyboard, so I can't see what I'm typing, and I'm like moving my head around all the time and stuff. All right. Aussie dollar CAD 4 hour. Let's have a look. Oh, to the downside. Maybe. I'm not taking it. We got a sideways market here. We got a weak sideways market, a weak local uptrend. So look, It could work. You know what? It could work, but it's not it's not a trade that I want to take. Like, again, I'm just looking for those trades in those strong, trendy markets and looking for BRCs in that type of market. Exactly like the Bitcoin trade that I went through at the start, like incredibly strong trending market, and just looking for levels to enter there. Like, this just doesn't do anything for me. It's not like making me want to take this trade. Like, and realistically, maybe like up here is better structure anyway, to be honest. So it's not something that I want to be trading at that level. And like I said, that doesn't mean it won't work. It could certainly work. You could click the buy button right now and find yourself in an incredibly great trade, okay? Anyone could just click the buy button in a market or the sell button in a market and find themselves in a great trade. But, that doesn't mean that it's a good trade, though. A winning trade doesn't mean that it's a good trade as well. So yeah, I'm probably not going to take this. Anyone trade stocks? Anyone trade stocks here? Because there's a ton of stocks showing up at the moment. I don't really trade stocks. Mostly just Forex crypto. No worries, OY0. Just like it could be good. I mean, if this keeps dying really hard, then this could be a good extension trade. I've got strategy mode off. This could be a good extension trade if this keeps dying. This is exactly what I'm talking about and what Johannes was talking about just now with that blood, right? Just this march down and then USD, Singapore dollar, now considered a minor on BFT. I think it's more about what the broker classifies it as. I'm pretty sure Oanda classifies this as a minor, to be honest. Most brokers will classify this as a minor, but I don't really trade it though. I don't trade this pair. I prefer the, more. This is probably on the knife's edge of being like a minor and an exotic, to be honest. So I don't really trade this one. Because it's like one step further to Euro Singapore dollar, and it's an exotic. So I don't trade it. I mean, look at these wicks. Holy. This is what you don't want to see. Look at all this. Oh, gosh. I mean, this trade here, like, I'm probably not going to take it, even though I was talking about this before, how it's just been bouncing off this level for ages, because I've seen this before, okay? When I think back to the times that I've seen this, there's a point that this level breaks, and then it comes back up, consolidates here again, and then continues on, okay? It needs to break at some point. If it keeps getting tested, it will break. And it's already been tested so many times, I'm not going to be the guy who buys it here the one time that it breaks. I haven't taken any of these other trades. So I'm not in a position where I've already made a bunch of money on this trade and I'm just like, oh yeah, who cares if I lose one kind of thing. So yeah, I'm not taking this trade. If you look at that, that's definitely a repeated trade. We've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Probably about 6 times this has played out already. That's what's Bitcoin up to. I've been trading a lot of Bitcoin lately. Just because it's a really strong market at the moment, you know? Yeah, would have taken that that TP that I closed a little bit early. I closed it like maybe here or something like that. So it was a touch early, but overall, still great trade. You know what? If this pulls back from here, then we're probably looking at maybe like an entry here or there, depending on how it looks when it pulls back. Because this is a hard resistance level across pretty much all time frames. Yeah. So yeah, probably looking maybe something there. If this gets that far down. And then if that one fails, then here's the next trade. All right, any questions, guys? How's everyone going with the levels? What levels are we? Level 7, nearly level 8. Nearly level 8. Level 6. Nice, Greg. I saw you got level 6 just now. I think it's a bit of fun, you know. The levels are really cool. I really like it. Really engaging. Level 1 just joined this week. Casper, you'll get there. It's pretty quick to level up, Casper. It's pretty quick, mate. You'll be right. Carlston 6. Awesome. Awesome. Catching up to me. Gotta pull my finger out, huh? It's good. I gotta get a few more trades in to catch my weekly profit. 5, halfway to 6. Jake, nice. Little Lion, level 3, good stuff. Nearly level 4 and you unlock lower time frame. Good work. Level 5 for Boink. Nice. Nuno. Well, it's not really a question. More of a thing I find confusing. The RR level of that position tool is 1.7, but actually 1.3 with the 2 positions. What do you think most? Pound AUD. Yeah, so the furthest one is like... Let's have a look. So if you place something like that, then the furthest risk to reward is 1.7. Okay, the shorter one is like 0.85 or something like this. But, you know, you'll see in most cases, once you get to be trading for a while, you might actually alter that a little bit or leave a runner or something like that, like I did on the Bitcoin trade, you know, leave a runner to the higher resistance if it were to get there, and that's where you can really expand that that risk to reward. What do I think about pound AUD? What time frame? The levels just make you take sonar trades, which doesn't say a lot about anyone as a trader. What? Sometimes it might be a bit confusing. Yeah, it's just the furthest to the furthest TP, no. 100 to go to level 4. Nice. Level 4, and I don't know how ready. Pound AUD 4 hour. I don't know. I mean, what do I think of it? I think if it gets back to here, then I'll buy it. Maybe something like this or something like this. But on the 4-hour time frame, I'm not doing anything right now. Nothing to do right now. That's what I think of pound AUD on the 4-hour time frame. Unless as price comes down here, this becomes like a 75% alignment level, then I might do something there, but probably nothing until it gets back to here, to be honest. No worries, Ronald. Very bold TP there. I mean, for me, I'm probably taking something like that, to be honest. USD CAD, what time frame, Raul? Let's have a look. Oh, just overall structure. Sure. Yeah, look, I mean, this has been a really strong downtrend trend for quite some time, okay? Now, right now, I'm saying it's still bearish, right? If we see it pop above here and start to consolidate above this level, something like here, and then we see our local RTD cross above our global RTD, then maybe we're looking at bullish signs at that point. But overall, you know, this still looks bearish to me, and I'm only really looking for short positions. I'm not looking for anything on the 1-day time frame, but maybe on lower time frames, we could find something perhaps. You know, that doesn't look too bad, something like this here. It comes back to here, down to there, something like this. That looks pretty good. Yeah. Overall, it is pretty choppy at the moment. You're right. Euro USD 4-hour, Ronald. This one. Yeah, looks good. Still a strong global downtrend. Price gets up to here. It'll be good. It all depends on how the price gets there, though, as well. You know, if we see it consolidating here for a long period of time, right, and then slowly kind of grinds up and through this level, then it's not so great, because at that point, what'll happen is the RTD will be looking like very much cut into this, and our overall trend will probably be like weak or low or something like that. If it just like quickly smacks into this level and then dumps back down again, that'd be great. On the 4-hour, waiting for a break of lower SSS, but price action seems choppy. Yeah, seems pretty choppy. I'll probably find a different market, or EU on the 1 hour at the circular N. I'm already on it. Oh yeah, that's the trade I was just talking about. Was I? Yeah, it's the same trade. Sorry, Tom, for asking the same question. But confirmation of lower time frame, e.g. 1 hour confirmed with 4 hour. What do we look for? Oh, 1 hour confirmed with 4 hour. So my confirmation, so that's higher time frame confirmation. I'm confirming that the level is broken on the 4 hour time frame if I'm looking at the 1 hour. So let's say I've got, you know, this trade here. This is a downtrending market. And price is breaking through this neutral level, okay? What I'm doing is if I'm looking at the 1 hour time frame, I'm not going to be placing my orders here immediately. Oh, it's a support, so it's not really a good example anyway. I'm looking at the higher time frame to confirm that the level is broken, basically. So a close of the 4 hour candle to confirm that the level is broken. So perhaps something like this would be a better thing to look at. Yeah, so this 75% alignment support level. So I'm seeing this break, basically. What I'm doing is I'm checking the higher time frame to confirm once that there's a 4 hour candle closed below this level here, then that's my confirmation that this level is broken, basically. Make sense? Otherwise, it could potentially be a fake out and then come back to the upside here like that. Oh, that was a Raul. That was a strategy mode trade. Yeah, cool. Nuno, yeah. 4 hour, 1 hour. Those look similar trades. Definitely. Cool. All right. It's been about an hour. Far out. That flew by, huh? All right, get in your last questions, and then I'm going to sleep. It's 12:35 a.m. in Australia at the moment, so it's Thursday. In the Gold Coast, anyway. Other parts of Australia in daylight savings, they're actually at 1:30 a.m. If Esteban's around, he's at 1:30 a.m. I think. So bullish. All right, getting your last questions, guys. 2:30 in the UK, Hassan. Nice. Any other questions? Caspar, thanks for the insights. Excited to be part of the journey. Yeah, no worries, Caspar. Glad you enjoyed. Check the weekly market reviews as well that I do. Usually I post them on like Tuesday. So check out them. You'll be able to see how the weekly market review account's going, placing orders, all that type of thing as well. Ronald, pound US dollar 4 hour, please. I like pound US dollar. Where are we looking? Let's let this pound USD 4 hour. Yeah, I actually had orders here on this. I had orders for that. I think it was a 1 hour trade though. And then you can see my runner up to this here. So I was like that 3.34 risk to reward. Similar again. If this breaks here, then maybe there's some sort of trade like that, perhaps. That's some good structure there, but yeah, nothing to do right now. Except for this setup here. Are they all the markets are you watching, Tom? Hassan, all the markets I'm watching? What I usually do is I go through like the sonar here, and then I look for sonar setups. So I do take a lot of sonar setups. And then if there's any particularly like bullish markets or particularly bearish markets, I'll start looking for X mode setups on them as well. So, I mean, I do particularly like Aussie dollar, US dollar, pound US dollar, euro US dollar, and Bitcoin as well. And then gold's been pretty good as well lately to trade. But pretty much what I'm doing is I use the sonar to kind of filter out the markets that are particularly bullish or particularly bearish, because those are the ones where usually you've got both the local and the global in your favor. And then I'm trying to find entries on lower time frames with them, or just, you know, looking for the sonar trades themselves. USD JPY. You already covered USD JPY, but can you give some insight into the 1 and 4 hour time frame? Price is making lower highs and lower lows. I still have a buy open from that end level. Is the setup still valid? One hour, 4 hour, yeah? You're in from here. Is it something like this? Yeah, okay. Is that setup still valid? Well, if you're already in it, nothing much you can do about it, to be honest. You've accepted your risk when you place this trade, okay? By altering it now, you're only putting yourself into a position where, number one, you know, you're screwing around with your strategy, and that's going to hurt you more mentally than anything else, okay? So by canceling this now, or by getting out early from this, you're going to just affect yourself mentally more than anything else. All right. You accepted your risk when you placed the trade, and you have to always remember that once you put your stop loss in and you've set that risk at 1%, 2%, whatever it is that you're risking, then you've accepted that risk. If it stops out, it stops out. You find a new trade. So there's every chance that this comes back and you can get out at break even. But you know, overall, it's still a strong uptrend. So if you're trading the 4 hour, for example, then nah, you wouldn't be trading 4 hour. I don't like that it broke this here, but like I said, it might come back up, push through this, get an entry there. If you do decide to get out break even, or just hold on to it, accept the risk that you took, and you know, keep looking for trades elsewhere and be prepared if this does, you know, die, to take this trade here. So, yeah. If it was me, I'm probably not getting out at break even just yet. I'm probably just going to just see what happens in the next couple of candles. See if it does something like that. With regards to Raul's 4-hour AED JPY, he mentioned to enter at NNN level, but if it does not work out once you... NNN level, but it does not work out nicely, you mentioned to go one level lower, which is the level to long. Yeah, what I'm saying here is basically like, while this market is still... So let's just take it. Let's just zoom out a bit and have a look at this market, okay? It pays to zoom out sometimes, okay, guys? Like, let's zoom out and look at this market. This is a bullish market. Very, very bullish. So we're not looking to short this market, okay? We're not looking to find little short-term wins like this or some bullshit like that. We're looking to buy important levels in this market, okay? So if one of those levels that you're buying, if it breaks and it starts breaking to the downside, then you're finding the next important level to buy, okay? So if that trade fails and this continues to be a really strong uptrend, then we're looking to buy off that level right there, okay? That would kind of be our next trade, maybe something like this or something like that. I'll extend that out a little bit further as well, something like this. That would be the next trade we're taking. So that's what I mean by finding the next level to take a trade at. While the market is still in a strong uptrend, we're looking for that next level to place an order at. Is it advisable to do that to all pairs when such situations happen? Sorry, I don't know what I was talking about when you asked that question. Using sonar as a scanner. Yeah, pretty much, Hassan. Yeah, using sonar as a scanner to find the good trends. That's pretty much what I'm saying. Yeah, towards Hadar. Yeah, perfect. Out of curiosity, what's the lowest time frame you trade? Or like, I mean, I have traded 5 minutes, but I don't really like it that much. I prefer 15 minute. 15 minute would kind of be the lowest I go. Yeah, no worries, Jocelyn. Oh, Raul. Yeah, we'll keep the trade open. Thanks, mate. I sleep well. Thanks, buddy. I will. All right, guys. No other questions. I'm going to sign off. Thank you for joining the weekly Q&A. Maybe Asger joins us next week. Maybe he doesn't, but I'll definitely be here. I think Asger was planning on trying to join at least once a month with us, so we can both kind of be here, talk about some stuff, and we'll go from there. Alrighty, guys. All the best. Happy trading, and I'll talk to you all soon.